Now it's time for us to really dig into the meat of the industry, the half-ton pickup truck, and this is the beginning of the 2018 Truck King Half-Ton Challenge. So we're going to test all 5 half-tons in the ways we always do. We're going to tow with them, run them with payload, run them empty, and get fuel economy scores out of all of these trucks. So we're going to get started with this truck right here, the brand new 2018 Ford F-150.
So we're here driving the 2018 F-150, this year's Ford entrant for the Canadian Truck King Challenge. And right now we are doing our empty driving loops. Now this truck has impressed me so far in so much as it's got a nice comfortable ride. I always find that the Fords are very, as close to a car as you can get for being a truck. It's comfortable to drive empty, but when you have to do something, payload, towing, they're also ready to do that. So this truck has the 5-liter V8 motor, and just driving it around a little bit here this morning, I've noticed that you lose the turbo lag. And I say that only because I drive a lot of the EcoBoost motors in these Fords, is what they typically give us. And it's an excellent departure. I actually miss, I said earlier, don't know the last time that I drove a V8 in this truck. Now that V8 is also connected to their 10-speed transmission, which I don't have a bad thing to say about it. It's smooth shifting, it knows exactly where it wants to be, and it just has pull no matter what range you're in.
So there's no doubt, here's one of the big differences between this 5-liter and the EcoBoost. We're going up a 6-degree hill right now, and this 5-liter sits right around 3,300 RPM in 3rd gear, and it's working hard. With those turbos on there, you know, you get more low-end torque, and the EcoBoost wouldn't be breathing as hard to get it up the hill. But again, the 5-liter, you get this great linear acceleration. It's just nice feeling having that naturally aspirated power. It's very predictable. And then the thing I've heard a million times, and I think is pretty true, is guys who want to work on their own truck, guys who want to better understand their own truck, they don't want to get the turbos. It's complicated. They'd rather have the simplicity of naturally aspirated V8, and I totally get that.
So this truck is the platinum level F-150, and that comes with a lot of interesting styling features. Some nice brushed metal accents in here. I believe they're plastic, but they look like they're brushed metal. You get the upgraded stereo system, including the B&O speakers. Overall, it's a well-appointed truck. It's quite comfortable. The leather seats are quite comfy, but you're gonna pay for it with a price tag of about $80,000. Now with that 80 grand price tag, you do get a lot of interesting features. The auto stop start with the motor, which will save you about 5% overall on your fuel consumption, the 360-degree cameras, and you get the adaptive cruise control system, which is awesome in trucks. I don't know, I love driving this thing.
Wrong trailer!
Wrong trailer!
Yeah, it's flashing, it's counting.
So right now we're towing with the 2018 F-150 Platinum. As we've already said, this is the 5-liter naturally aspirated, and interestingly enough, everything we hear from Ford is EcoBoost, EcoBoost, EcoBoost. Good motor, very, very strong, but honestly, I love the 5-liter. The power is much steadier, it's more linear.
So there is one thing Ford does better than everyone else when it comes to towing, and that's giving you information. In here in the info cluster on the screen, there is a towing status screen, and that will show me where my trailer brake is set to. It'll show you the incline of the truck, so you know how steep the hill is. It shows you the power distribution, so you know if the power is going to all 4 wheels or just the rears. It'll even show you the angle that your steering wheel is at, so you know exactly where your wheels are. And beyond that, it will check your lights for you, which is a nice feature. You go in here, check it, it says your lights are good, you know you're good. And then finally, there is a trailer connection checklist. So before you take off with the trailer, you're simply gonna go through the checklist. It's gonna say, hey, are your chains connected? Are your lights connected? Is the jack foot raised up? All those little things that, you know, we've all probably forgotten at one time or another. So Ford is just making it that much easier to tow because they're giving you access to all of this information. Although I will say, this info screen in here is more convoluted and busy than anyone else in the industry as well. So it's a bit of a trade-off. You do get more info, but you really have to figure this thing out and what's in here because there's so many menus and so many screens.
If you're towing, you need certain features. Let's start with the mirrors. The mirrors on the Ford are excellent. There's no doubt about it. And in this particular case, we've got the trailering package, so the mirrors are powered. You can extend them, retract them. You know what? To me, that's like a 90% solution. I like them. However, I got to tell you, I still like the ones in the Ram because they're completely mechanical. One less thing to blow up. However, overall decent. The truck has the integrated trailer brake controller. However, it's located down at your right knee. Now, Chevy, for instance, has it on the left up high where, well, quite frankly, most of us are right-handed. So it's easy to work with your left, and depending upon how tall you are, you don't bang your knee into it. Right above the trailer brake controller, Ford offers you their trailer backup assist knob. This is the one that if you're backing up, you simply turn the knob rather than the steering wheel, and the truck does the rest for you. You know what? As much as I was kind of like poo-pooed this when I first saw it, for people that don't trailer a lot, this is one of those things that it will remove the anxiety for you. Also, if your truck is something that you loan out and or maybe some of your employees use it, this is one less thing they can mess up. It just makes it easier. 10-speed transmission in this vehicle is excellent for towing. It's non-sequential. So what that means is that you can be rolling along in 10th, and if it needs to drop to 5th, it doesn't have to bump down through the gears. It just drops to 5th, and away it goes. So it'll get the power to the ground when you need it, as soon as you want it. And the 5-liter works really well with it. One thing I want to complain about though, Ford, is the hookups for the safety chains. Why do you put them so far underneath the bumper? You gotta get on your knees to be able to see down there, and they're fairly thick stamped as well. And trying to get the rings through there, anyway, I got wet knees this morning because of that. So yeah, put them back down where everybody else does. Thanks.